Welcome to Run Green Strong. I'm Rito. 2 weeks out from my Trail Verbier X-Traversée by UTMB. 76 kilometers, 48 miles, 5,300 meters, or 17,400 feet of vert in Verbier, Switzerland, July 12th. So we're 2 weeks out. This is probably the last weekend that we can do back-to-back long runs before we go into the taper and make sure we're physically and mentally rested and ready to go. I'm bringing you along my weekend back-to-back long runs on the Appalachian Trail near Connecticut. We're going to do 2 different sections on Saturday and Sunday. Today, Saturday, we're aiming for 10 miles, about 3,000 feet of vert, starting at the River Road trailhead on the Housatonic River outside of Kent, and doing 5 miles out, 5 miles back, going southbound. Tomorrow, Sunday, the plan is to start at the Sharon Route 4 trailhead, a little north of here, and again attempt 10 miles out and back, going northbound. We might get a little less vert on that section, we'll see. Today is going to be more of a hike than a run hike, and you ask why. Great question. My legs are not yet recovered from the back-to-back on the AT last weekend, and normally I would not do successive weekends of back-to-backs on the AT. During regular training, I like to alternate back-to-back on technical trails with back-to-back on groomed trails so that my legs have an opportunity to recover from the technical trails. We are on top of Caleb's Peak, quick sweep of the Housatonic Valley and Housatonic River. About 2.5 miles in slightly less than an hour, and about 1,050 feet of vert. There's some nice downhill single track that are definitely runnable, but we're going to keep this to a hike. Reason being, 2 weeks out from the race, want to not risk an injury, gripping on a root and rock, and also want to speed up recovery. We have another long one on the AT tomorrow, and the next week we want to have another good week of training as we taper down. So definitely keeping it easy today. Keep practicing my downhill running. This is going to be my Achilles heel with my lower back injury, 2 herniated discs. Let's go, guys. Cruising here. Beautiful flowing trails. We're at the 5-mile turnaround, 1 hour 55 minutes, and 1,500 feet of vert. Heading back to the River Road trailhead where my car's parked. We're 7.5 miles in, 2.5 miles to go, 2 hours 50 minutes, and 2,350 feet of vert. Let's finish this. Let's do this. We're climbing back up to Caleb's Peak before we descend once again over St. John's Ledge. Here we go, Caleb's Peak, and the view, that is priceless over the Housatonic Valley. This is very steep and very dangerous going down. It's not going to show on the video how steep it is, but it's near vertical. If I had more common sense, I wouldn't be filming this. Saturday long run done. 10 miles, 3 hours, 54 minutes, and 3,000 feet of vert. Happy with that. I felt I did a better job climbing this time. Tomorrow, Sunday, we're gonna try a different section of the Appalachian Trail going north. Please stay on and join me for that. In the meantime, if you're enjoying this content, would appreciate if you give it a big thumbs up. If you're not already following, click that subscribe button, join us. Thanks very much for watching. See you tomorrow. We just crossed Guinea Brook and we are climbing. It is day 2 Sunday, out for another 10 miles and whatever vert we can get today on the Appalachian Trail. Very, very steep. Oh my God. The first quarter mile was 254 feet of vert. So that's the equivalent of more than 1,000 feet per mile. Crazy. Now we get a little bit of single track and we'll keep climbing. Another gorgeous mountaintop view. Off in the distance on the horizon is the Mohawk Valley Ski Resort. Obviously not in operation in the heat of June. Last weekend and this weekend I am doing back-to-back long runs, and I've talked in past videos about how game-changing they are. Single long runs beyond 20 to 25 miles have diminishing returns, increased recovery time, and increased risk of injury. So back-to-back long runs, 10 to 15 miles, are ideal. Very similar physiological adaptation to single long runs, but faster recovery and reduced injury risk. In addition, with family, work, and other personal obligations, sometimes weekend time is precious time. Doing 2 back-to-backs is better than being gone for an entire day on a weekend. My comments are general in nature and they obviously pertain to your specific training and racing goals, your experience and fitness as a runner, and everything else you're trying to balance in your life. One of the many benefits of back-to-back long runs, especially if done over several weeks or months, is the cumulative fatigue and therefore the stress adaptation. I am not recovered on the second day of back-to-back long runs, and as mentioned, I did a back-to-back last weekend, and yesterday, Saturday, I mentioned that I can still feel I'm not fully recovered. That is the cumulative fatigue. So we are building on top and keep building on top. However, we are doing it in a safe way, staying healthy and also staying mentally fresh, which is important too. 2.5 miles in, exactly an hour and 850 feet of vert. Let's go, guys. Another steep climb, another technical trail. This is why we are called the Beast Coast instead of the East Coast. Gnarly trails and crazy to traverse. Look at this. And it doesn't end. Again, if I had better common sense, I would not be filming this with my GoPro. Got to cross that bridge. Looking pretty scary. OMG, look at this. Wow. The only bad news is we got to come back that way. We're 5 miles, turned around, heading back to my car, which is parked on Route 4 outside of Sharon. 5 miles, 2 hours and 5 minutes, and 1,600 feet of vert. We're climbing the stairway to heaven. Literally. This takes us up, I don't know, 200-300 feet. And it ain't easy. Look at this. Seven and a half miles, 2 hours and 7 minutes, 2,300 feet of vert. Let's get it done. Weekend complete, Sunday run done, 10 miles, 4 hours and 9 minutes, and 3,050 feet of vert. Back to back done. 2 successive weekends, and if I add up the past 9 days inclusive of both weekends, 50 miles and 12,500 feet of vert. Still a work in progress, but finally getting some traction, literally and figuratively. Let's go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please smash that like button. If you're not following us, please join and hit subscribe. Thanks very much for watching. See you in the next one.